Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Telly Tucker. I serve as the president here at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research in Danville, Virginia. If you would please stand on your feet if you're able, and let's welcome our graduates today. Thank you. If you would please remain standing. Gentlemen, if you would remove your ball caps and everyone join together in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Welcome to ATDM, the new front line for America's defense manufacturing industry. ATDM stands for Accelerated Training in Defense Manufacturing, and we can take you from zero to career in just 4 months. Do you love working with your hands and working with metal? Then welding might be right for you. Woodworking to inspect and measure parts to ensure quality and safety sound rewarding? Then quality control inspection, also known as metrology, may be the perfect fit for you. Does working in our state-of-the-art CNC machining lab sound exciting? Or you could lean into the technology of the future in our additive manufacturing lab. If you're someone who likes analyzing results and problem solving, then non-destructive testing could be the perfect fit for you. What makes our program so special is not just the quality of the facilities and the instructors, it is the speed to career. We prepare you to enter the workforce in just 4 months with no prior experience required. To learn more, visit us online at atdm.org.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
So good morning again. My name is Telly Tucker. I have the privilege and honor of serving as the president here at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. This is an exciting day. What an exciting day it is here, not only for our 45 graduates of ATDM today, but also for the families, the friends, those who've made sacrifices so that you all can be here to complete this program. And what an exciting opportunity. This is a new beginning for each of you as you move into your careers, working in the defense industrial base. I'm often asked the question, what is it that you all do here at the Institute? I've seen the building, or some of you may be from out of town and you've never even heard of it. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. We are a 23-year-old political subdivision in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and our mission is to catalyze regional economic transformation. It's a fancy way of saying we try to make the lives of the people that we serve in this region better. How do we do that? We do it through education, we do it through training, workforce development, we do it through applied research, we do it through advanced learning, and we do it through our conference services. So how did Navy and how did the Department of Defense come to decide to place this program, this accelerated training for defense manufacturing program in Danville? I'm so glad you asked. As a matter of fact, this region, thanks to many of our partners, some of who are here today, invested some $70 to $80 million of local, state, and regional money into creating manufacturing pipelines that begin in middle school with programs like GoTech, that go through high schools, community colleges, and right here on the campus of the Institute. How did we do that? We did it through partnerships. We can't take credit for doing any of this alone. It literally is a collaborative effort, a team environment. Some of those partners are here today, and I want to recognize and acknowledge a few of them. So this region, we serve 6 counties and 2 cities. We do have some elected officials. Mr. Vic Ingram from Pittsylvania County is here. Thank you, sir, for your continued partnership. We have Mr. McGinnis, our new county administrator from Patrick County. Thank you, sir, for being here. Mr. Earl Reynolds, deputy city manager for the city of Danville. Thank you, sir, for being here as well. We have a few members of the ILR Board of Trustees and the ILR Foundation as well. Ms. Hodges, thank you for being here as well. And I think Mr. Merrick's and I'm not sure if elected Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors Darrell Dalton is here, but if he is, please give him my acknowledgments. I also want to thank our colleagues, our friends, our partners at the Navy Maritime Industrial Base Office. Ms. Pauline Sumner is here today to represent the Navy team, and we certainly couldn't do what we do without them. In addition, there are a number of industries that have hired many of these students. I'm not going to acknowledge them all because they'll be recognized at a later time during the program. But just know that the people that are here that either have sent their employees here to be upskilled or that have offered many of our graduates jobs, we owe them a debt of gratitude as well for continuing to be partners. So the rumor is that 100% of our CNC students were placed, all first, second, and third shift. Is that true? So I expect an invitation to lunch. You can take me to lunch this time, right? All right. Congratulations. That's an incredible feat. It is. And I think this is the first time, Jason, I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but I think this is the first class where we've had 100% placement by the time they complete the class. And for the handful of you, the QC folks who are still deciding which opportunity to accept, stay strong. It's happening. It will happen for you. And I can't tell you how proud we are, both as from where I sit as a president here, but also from the board, the community. Many of you have given hours of volunteer time back to this community. For our families, for our friends that are here, I want you to know that these students, not only do they train 8 hours a day, 5 days a week on first, second, and third shift, many of them find time to give back to this community by donating their time for food, by cleaning up things on the Riverwalk Trail. Some of them have volunteered in Habitat for Humanity, and others. I'm sure I'm leaving out some. So they have become part of our community. Know that you are always a part of this Danville, Pittsylvania County region, and you are forever connected to the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research and the ATDM program. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Executive Vice President for Manufacturing Advancement. He oversees all of our advanced manufacturing programs here on our campus. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Jason Wells.
Thank you, President Tucker. It's an honor to stand up here. As President Tucker indicated, we are the Manufacturing Advancement Division here at the Institute. It's one of 5 efforts that we support, but we have the distinct honor of supporting the ATDM program within our division. And I have the distinct honor of congratulating this group on no longer being students, but now being certified, qualified, skilled tradespeople. So congratulations to all of you. That's an amazing feat. You represent a very unique sector of our population. You represent a section of our population that is doers. You're very much the antagonist of AI. You know, you hear a lot today about AI, and the reality of it is that you make things happen. You are the action. You're not just the thought or the computing or the calculations, but you're actually having to physically make things. I too started my path, and I'm a proud journeyman tool and die maker. Does my heart well to hear that the CNC is 100% placed, because that's where I started my career, was in CNC as well. So congratulations. And the skills gap in this nation continues to grow on a regular basis. So the mission that you're on, that gap that you're filling is critical to the very strength of our nation and our everyday lives. If you think about it, everything that we in our modern world relies is only 1 degree separated from a manufacturing process. Whether it's the car that you drove to get here, the plane you flew possibly to get here, the bridges that you drove across, they all depend on the quality, integrity, and the efforts of a skilled tradesperson. So our very lives as a nation depends on the work that you're about to embark on and about to do. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's amazing how even the littlest things matter. Anybody that works for me knows that I'm a huge history buff, and I take a great deal of pride of being a skilled tradesperson myself. And I love to read history around the difference that we make, because we often sit in the background and don't get the recognition, the Tinker Tape parades or anything like that. But every single person relies on us showing up every day and making a difference and doing what we do. So I'll give you my history fact for today that I think is kind of interesting, just to show you how something that simply that we all take for granted could fail because of a skilled trade person didn't follow through on their responsibility to the craft. On August 31st in 2024 at Kendall County Fairground in Bourne, Texas, 1 person was killed and 11 people were severely injured when a horizontal support beam on benches they were sitting on failed because of a weld. So pretty simple thing that everybody takes for granted, but that's because of us, because of the skilled tradespeople. So take seriously what you're about to embark on. Motivation got you here to Danville, to the ATDM program. And we know you just took on 600 hours of education in 16 weeks. So discipline got you through to this day today, but have purpose for the next leg of your journey here, and embrace that purpose, because we all depend on you and we all need you. Every great superpower depends on its manufacturing might and strength. Don't discount how that won World War II and how it won the Cold War, and how it will protect us from other foreign enemies. So thank you and congratulations. So now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our guest speaker. He is actually very, very well connected to the program. Colonel Mike Flanigan, retired Colonel Mike Flanigan, is a member currently of the Spectrum Group. The Spectrum Group does high-level government advisement and consulting services for us specific to the ATDM program. So Colonel Flanigan has had a tremendous insider's point of view of the entire program and has been an invaluable member of our team. So it's a real privilege and honor to have him here today to speak to you all as graduates. But I want to share a little bit of his background with you, because it's super impressive. Prior to joining the Spectrum Group, Colonel Flanigan served as a client relationship executive and regional director at LMI, supporting government clients with logistics, advanced analytics, and management advisory services. Previously, he served as Vice President Training Solutions and Services at CACI Federal, leading a 400-person division delivering Department of Defense training solutions. He had a 27-year U.S. Army career. Colonel Flanigan served in a variety of armor and acquisition roles, culminating in his serving as project manager for training devices for U.S. Army PEO, simulation, training, and instrumentation as well. Previously, he served as product manager for U.S. Army Abrams tank systems with responsibility for the lifecycle management of the tanks for the U.S. Army and foreign military sales to Australia, Kuwait, and Egypt. Colonel Flanigan's staff assignments included serving as Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations, U.S. Army Research and Development Command, and as military assistant for acquisition to Secretary of Army. In addition to his work at the Spectrum Group, Colonel Flanigan serves as civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army. He also serves as a board member of several D.C. area veteran service organizations and an advisor to the Virginia Chamber of Commerce Veteran and Military Affairs Committee. Please welcome Colonel Flanigan to the stage.
How are you? Yeah. All right, let me test this. Great. All right. Hey, thanks. Thanks for the introduction. And I wish you didn't read all that, Jason, but appreciate it. Give me the next slide. This is a kind of a more appropriate introduction. So Mike Flanigan again. I got to meet a bunch of the family members out here as you guys were hanging out in the hallway. I'm what you call, and I know we've got a few out here, a soldier for life. So I spent my entire life associated with the Army. On the far left there, that little kid in the beret is me in Verdun, France. Dad was stationed there about 21 years after the end of World War II. He was only a captain then, about 5 years in. And then as you move to the right, I met my high school sweetheart during high school, about 2.5 hours from here. Went to West Point. We got married 2 days after that, and then went on a 27-year adventure in the Army around the world, doing some neat things. And then, I did some, a bunch of defense contractor stuff since 2013. What I want to highlight here, and it just kind of supports, I got 3 slides, by the way, we'll keep it short, supports kind of the thesis of what I want to talk to you about here. I spent a lot of time on tanks. You guys are funded by a Navy program, so, cut me some slack here. You're going to be working on subs and, all that sexy stuff. I spent my time on tanks. The first 9 years on tanks, did some time in tanks as well when I was a cadet on the East-West German border. And then I spent my time in research, development, and acquisition. I even had a intel assignment. I was telling a fellow colonel back there where I was kind of a civilian for 3 years, got myself into a bunch of tank plants across Eastern Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, checking out the competition. And then following that, I ran the tank program, 6,000 Abrams tanks for the Army out of Detroit. And then I did some other fun stuff. But that's my background. I'm not like you guys. I'm not that good with my hands, but I have an appreciation for the work that you do, the work you're going to do. And that's what I want to talk to. My thesis here is we win battles on the shop floor. I mean, it's what you guys are going to do that win battles. And I'm going to give you some evidence for that. Let me take a quick roll call here. So we know we got the graduates here. Let me see a show of hands. Family members, where are you? Family, come on, raise your hands. All right. Yep, you guys helped them, while they were here, got those phone calls, hey, you can do it. Thank you. Thanks for that. That's really important. How about my instructors and the staff? I mean, they're the ones that make this thing happen. All right. Oh man, I tell you, these people. I was telling someone here at the beginning. When you talk to the instructors and the staff, it's very similar to talking to people in the military or the clergy. It's really all about the mission. Um, they get paid a decent salary. It's not the greatest, but I mean, they are here because of you all. They're like, maybe, they were like Jason. They did CNC machining, and they want to help fill the gaps in the next generation, right? They want to grow the next workforce. That to me is really humbling. We got another. Do we have any members from industry? Any of these companies that are hiring these great folks? Sometimes they show up here. Do we have? Now I know we've got some family members in industry. Where are those folks? BWXT. I talked to a bunch of them. Show of hands. All right. So folks are getting into the family business. All of you are part of the team that made today happen. And I really thank you for that. This is so important. We got a gap of about 150,000 jobs to fill. So let me have the next slide. Question up top. So what happened 35 years ago? And I know we got a couple of folks. I'm going to look at this younger crowd. What happened 35 years ago? Anybody? Desert Storm. All right. We got a. Sir, are you a veteran? Okay, you look like it. You weren't in. Now you're younger than me. Okay, great. Yeah, you look younger than me. Okay, I got gray hair. All right, Desert Storm. That's right. In fact, 35 years ago today, I was at a log base in Saudi Arabia. I had just graduated from the Armor Advance course. My dream job at that time was to be a company commander of a tank company, 4 tanks, 16 soldiers, including myself. Me and 24 other first lieutenants or captains were sent forward to Saudi Arabia to replace the company commanders that we thought would get killed in the first hours of the battle. Those of you like me with gray hair, you'll remember the Iraqis at that time used a lot of chemical weapons. And quite frankly, we thought we were going to take big casualties. There are a lot of good reasons why we didn't, but we didn't know that. We thought we'd lose about 10%. And that's me on the left, looking cool, or on the right, like John Wayne or something. Behind me, one of those burning oil wells. That's as close as I could get. That's how hot it was. And they were all over Kuwait. The Iraqis lit them on their way out of Kuwait. Okay, next slide. This is my last slide. This is what I'm going to talk from. So when we talk about tanks, we talk about 3 things. And I'm going to use these examples for our graduating class here. We talk about mobility, lethality, and survivability. So on the left-hand side, this is the good guys. This is a U.S. Abrams M1A1 Heavy. This is the tank. We had about 3,100 of these tanks in Desert Storm. On the right, this is the way I like to see the enemy. On the right is a T-72 tank. This was the export model from the Soviet Union. These are proliferated all over the world, especially in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. They had about 3,500 of these tanks. So they had more tanks than they had 5,500, we had 3,500. So they have more tanks. T-72 was the best among their tanks. They had T-55s, T-69s, which were Chinese, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so here are my examples and why what you do really makes a difference. So let's talk about mobility. The Abrams tank on the left has a 1,500 horsepower air gas turbine. And I know we've got a helicopter pilot back there. This engine is an amazing engine. I mean, this tank weighs about 70 tons, give or take. And I spent a lot of time on this tank. Before they governed the engine, I've been on this tank going down a highway in Germany, 55 miles per hour. But the speed, top speed, isn't really the awesome thing. It's the ability to quickly pick up and move. Just an amazing engine. So from a mobility standpoint, that's really important because you've got to be able to pick up and move quickly on the battlefield, before the enemy's able to, draw a sight on you and shoot you. Now, on the right side is the T-72. That is a 780 horsepower engine. It's diesel. And I've seen this. I saw this in Iraq. And you may have seen this too. When that thing moves around the battlefield, there's black smoke all over the place. I mean, it just chugs along. It's a manual transmission. I mean, you got to have arms like this guy to like drive that thing. You got these two sticks and, all that kind of stuff. We've got an automatic transmission, a very different beast. But here's where you come in. So precision in machining, quality control is critical to the success of this Abrams tank. I mean, these engines are supposed to last, 1,600 hours if they're new. And so if you're not, within that error margin on the blades in the engine, the pieces that go into the suspension and everything, the transmission, that thing will shake. It'll break. And that smooth ride that you get, and I tell you, it's a dream. I used to give people rides, the infantry guys. I'm like, hey, come on up here. I'll give you a ride. That thing just hums up and over hills. And the whole time, the dog says, yep, I got it. The whole time you're moving, you could be trained on a target and maintain that sight on the target and shoot it on the move. That T-72 has to stop and then shoot. Big advantage that we've got. But again, if you're not doing your job with the machining and the quality, these things will break. And I've seen it. Occasionally, we'll get an engine that just fails, within 100 hours or something. Somebody didn't do their job right. Okay, lethality. How well can you kill the enemy? So the Abrams tank on the left was designed one shot, one kill. We've got to be able to hit the enemy with one shot because this tank was designed in an environment where the Chinese and the Russians would have 5 times as many tanks on the battlefield than we had. So you literally had to be able to engage a target, move to the next one, move to the next one. You don't have time to be taking a second shot. So lethality is very important. Let me even take it one more level. At 1,200 meters, 1 mil difference, metrology, where are my metrology guys? Okay. All right. Check me out on this. So 1 mil difference, 1,200 meters would equate to about 1 meter, 1.2 meters of drop, right? Now, a tank is only 2.3 meters tall. So at 1,200 meters, I'm half a tank down just because something was off 1 mil. I mean, that's a lot of precision. That gun tube is over 17 feet long. That allows me a difference along the center line of about 0.2 inches. You've got to be really precise in order to hit the mark. But I'll tell you, we got Rick over here with the dog. I don't know, where are you, Rick? Oh, there you. One of the dads here actually commanded a tank company in Desert Storm. I have to admit, I was in a Humvee riding behind the tanks, but I got to see him in action. It was something else. But again, that precision, machining, quality control, really important. Okay, last one, survivability. And this tells you a lot about the United States. Trust me. I mean, this is one of the things that I spotted right away. And I was just so proud and so glad to be an American. I grew up being told that these Russian tanks and these Chinese tanks were like the baddest things in the world, right? They were so low, and they had so many more of them than we did. I mean, I was kind of terrified. However, in Desert Storm, I got to go inside these T-72s, T-55s, T-69s that were like this. Actually, the ones I typically went into, this had a fire on board, probably because the ammunition blew up. Boy, the difference in survivability. The people that designed the Abrams tank on the left, some of them were in World War II. Their memories of World War II and tankers was their brothers coming out of a tank on fire. Because if the tank got hit, the ammunition in there would cook off. I mean, it was like an instant death, or probably wasn't instant enough. It was horrific. And so, and I ran this program from 04 to 06. I got to read what went into the design of this tank, and they said, we can't do that. We can't have that. We've got to make this tank survivable because we care about human life. The Russians, when they designed their tank, Chinese, same thing. They literally, hose out the tank, put in a new crew. Okay, we lost a crew, so what? Hose it out, put in another crew. That's not our mentality. If you take, now we lost 31 tanks, U.S. tanks in this war. I'll tell you, most of those were fratricide. It was dark. I mean, I could barely see the hand in front of my face. We had sandstorms. It was raining. It was terrible. And so we had tanks that shot, our own tanks. They were not killed by that T-72, trust me. Survivability. I'll talk real quick about this. On the top of that turret are blow-off panels. So like I said, if you take a round inside the tank, typically the ammo cooks off, especially when you have combustible ammo. I mean, the cartridges literally, blow up in the breech. So if you take a round in that turret, the panel, the explosion goes upwards because it just literally blows out the top of the tank. You got to be very precise about those blow-off panels, very precise about the sensors, really important stuff. There's a fire suppression system inside. Sometimes you'll get a spark that'll come out of the breech. That's kind of scary, a little blowback. That could be very dangerous, especially if you're, I don't know, what'd you do, sir, in the Army? Okay. All right. So somewhat I'm talking about here. If you had and you're not supposed to, if you had a round in your lap and the fire, came out of the breech, you're toast. Again, very important. That T-72, when you go inside it, the crew is literally standing on the ammo. I mean, it's like right below them and right behind them. There's like a curtain, not a 2-inch thick panel that we have between the ammo and the crew. Very, very different. Again, tells you a lot about what we think of survivability. I could go on and on about that. So, I guess the bottom line to all this, my takeaway, I want you to take, hey, go back 2 slides. Kevin. All right. Okay, you see that guy? Okay, far right, that's me and my classmate. He was a Secretary of the Army. Just to the left of that, that's me with my son-in-law. He's a Marine today. He's been in about 18 years. He's never going to know your name. He's probably like I was, right? You just get on your equipment. You don't know who made it. You're just trusting that whoever made it did it right. He's never going to know your name, but he's going to be transported on a ship or a sub in a future mission that you had some role in. You made a component. You did something. You heard about the weld that Jason talked about on a Ferris wheel. That's terrible. But, you know, when you're talking about combat vehicles, these systems are in use for like 20 years. The Abrams tank has been around for 50 years. So the work that you're doing has got to be good, because it's got to last like 20 plus years before somebody looks at it and improves it. So you'll never meet my son-in-law, but I am trusting, you know, his safety to you all. All right. His life is in your hands, and I want you to remember that wherever you go. And it sounds like you all are going to great places. Hey, my last thing, you did not get here by yourself. You had great instructors. You got a great staff. You got family here that they did something right when you guys grew up. I mean, and then they supported you. So right now, I'd ask you students, you graduates, if you would please stand, face the audience, and let's give them a round of applause. Come on, graduates. Thank your family. All right, you guys can sit down. Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for your patience. And thank you for the jobs you're going to be doing, because you're going to be keeping the rest of us safe, you know. But God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Colonel Flanigan. That was really inspiring. I do have to fact check you on one thing, though. I predate CNC. I didn't start on CNC. So anyways, now I get the privilege and honor of introducing one of your own. So right now we're going to introduce our student speaker. Dominic Lee was born in Jamaica and later immigrated to the United States, where he has continued to build a strong foundation rooted in discipline and dedication. He currently serves in the United States Navy and is enrolled in the CNC Third Shift program, demonstrating a clear commitment to hands-on training and lifelong learning. Known for his dependability, adaptability, and strong work ethic, Dominic consistently brings a positive attitude and a drive for growth to every role he undertakes. Please join me in welcoming Dominic Lee to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, okay. Guys got me shaking my boots. Today, I'm grateful for this opportunity to stand before you and reflect my journey in the ATDM CNC machine program. When I first started this program, I came in motivated and also uncertain. But over the past few months, I've learned that growth doesn't happen over time. It happens with every cut, every setup, every challenge at a time. This program has pushed me beyond my comfort zone. There were days where tolerance was out of specs. You guys understand? There were days that you question yourself, well, we're getting it right. But every moment become a lesson. Every mistake become an opportunity to learn. And every challenges build confidence and sharpen my skills. ATDM has given me more than just technical knowledge. It have made my mindset strong and give me the confidence to improve. I want to take the time out to express my sincere gratitude to my instructor, Mr. Wolf, for your guidance, patience, and commitment to safety and excellence. You have impacted me. You have several impact on me, basically. You didn't just teach us to run a machine, you taught us how to think like a machinist. Your attention to detail, your willingness, and to explain things over and over until we understand. And your belief in our potential. make all the difference. Thank you for preparing us for the real demanding world of this industry. I would also like to recognize our career team who work behind the scenes to support us. Miss Tiffany, Miss Brown, Miss Shantae, Miss Clark, Miss Shirley. Your dedication to helping our students does not go unnoticed. Because of this training and support I have received from ATDM, I'm proud to share I have accepted an offer from my job, John R. Bromley Company, located in Shawfront, Pennsylvania. This opportunity represents more than just a job. It's a new chapter, a chance to learn, grow my career in the machining field. To all my colleagues, I want to say, stay motivated, keep moving forward. This journey is not easy, but it's worth it. There would be long nights, tough projects, and moments when you feel like you're being stuck. Don't let it define you. Let it shape you and grow from it. Let me close off with this quote. It's a CB quote, by the way. The difficult we do immediately. The impossible, it takes a little longer. All right. To all, thank you. And I wish you guys success to your journey forward.
Great job, Dominic. Now for the moment that everyone has been waiting for. It is with great honor and privilege, again, to welcome you all to the ATDM graduation ceremony for our incredible CNC machining and quality control / metrology graduates. As I call the names of our graduates, I invite everyone to celebrate their achievements, not just the completion of a program, but the beginning of exciting careers and opportunities ahead. But before I call the names, I would first like to introduce the instructors and technicians who worked countless hours to help these students get to this point. Faculty, as I call your names, please stand to be recognized. CNC Machining First Shift Instructor, Mr. Robert Eanes. CNC Machining First Shift Technician, Mr. Jason Boyd. CNC Machining Instructor Second Shift, Mr. Tyler Galden. CNC Machining Technician Second Shift, Mr. Zachary Hangelia. Third Shift CNC Machining Instructor, Mr. Joshua Wolf. First Shift Metrology Instructor, Mrs. Holly Lyles. First Shift Metrology Technician, Mr. Andrew Anderson. And also assisting with metrology first shift were Gavin Burton and John Bray. And now, without further ado, let's begin calling the names of our graduates. Robbie and Jason, will you please come to the stage? Kyrie Campbell. Maxwell Hackney. Israel Hernandez. Anthony Leah. James Liddell. Matthew Loomis. Jeremiah Rickerson. Elisha Sam. Stephen Tomczyk. Austin Turner. Mohammed Mutasir. Now CNC machining second shift with instructor Tyler Galden and technician Zachary Hangelia. Irvin Barrientos. Christopher Booker Jr. Robert Davis. Martin Gross. Brandon Nava. Richard Preston. Nadia Putnam. Dylan Ratcliffe. Durham Ryan. Jeffrey Wells. Luke West. And now CNC machining third shift led by instructor Mr. Joshua Wolf. Burkett Reed Carver. Jacob Faulkner. Brooke Fugate. James Hagerman. Devin Hedinger. Spiros Clinceres. Dominic Lee. Kevin Lee Jr. Noah Zeke. Our last group, metrology, led by instructor Holly Lyle and technician Andy Anderson. Jonathan Cameron. Joanna Clemente. Aspen Daly. Justin Farrow. Audra Fisher. Caleb Guthrie. Deborah Hinkle. Cashin Holt. Mason McCoppin. Sean Nodo. Stephen Orth. Jackson Saucer. Elizabeth Wurzbach. Let's once again give a round of applause to all of our graduates in CNC machining and quality control. We'll now have final remarks from our president, Mr. Telly Tucker.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Great to see you. Thank you for being here, sir. Congratulations again to all of our completers. As we've stated earlier today, this is the culmination of a lot of hard work. 16 weeks. I think you all arrived in October. You made it through the great ice storm of 2026. You completed 600 hours of training. I know that some of you probably hit a wall while you were here and you didn't think you were going to make it. There were more that started in October that didn't make it. It's a testament to your perseverance, to your dedication, to you not giving up when it got hard. And I know it was not easy, but this is an opportunity. It's a new beginning for you. It's going to be a new opportunity to change your life, hopefully your children, your grandchildren, the next generations. As many of these careers will continue to propel you into greater heights, greater opportunities. An old friend of mine once used to say, he was served in the Marines, he would say, your proximity to the fight does not equate to your importance to the fight. When that means, as Colonel Flanigan said, the work that you do might save somebody you care about's life. Maybe you're a family member, maybe a friend, maybe somebody that you don't know. So I don't say that to put extra pressure on you, but I just say it to know that you have an critically important role, not only to provide a living for yourself and your family, but also for the people that protect the freedoms that we enjoy as Americans here in this country. So I want to thank you. I want to charge you once again. You thank the families that have come a long way to support you and have supported you over the last 16 weeks. It's now my honor and my privilege on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, to officially declare you graduates, accelerated training, defense manufacturing. Let's stand and give them a hand. At this time, this officially concludes our program. Graduates, please come to the stage for a group photo. Families, you'll have an opportunity to take a photo.